Alright guys, thought I'd do an update. I haven't done one for a while. Things on Spain are sort of been just going along because I've had a lot of stuff going on. Dealing with financial accounts for one of the clients at the moment, and as such, that has taken up a massive amount of time. Been doing a bit of crypto stuff with Jay as well lately, and somebody asked, do I have a crypto channel? The answer is yes, I do, but I haven't updated it much, quite simply because I've been so busy. I've been moving some of my funds around, but not really trading at the minute because the market's still slowly moving across. Spain is all right. Spain's getting there in the sense of life just continuing day-to-day stuff, but nothing too exciting because we're just waiting for the weather to clear up. Because like now, going out, it's a bit windy, so recording stuff can be a bit difficult because of the wind noise. But at the same time, it's also been a bit overcast, so we're just waiting for that to tidy up. We'll probably do some more videos, but I do more Spanish stuff on my Spanish channel. I've tried to sort of separate the two, which is why you'll see that one's a bit more active on the Spanish stuff. I want to do more on the Excel tutorials and remote working and other bits and pieces, and I know I haven't really done too much on it in the sense of sharing information, but there's been a lot of stuff going on in the background. Met up with Carlos recently and we were talking about how to get some of the work in. I've had a couple of inquiries to do some outsourcing work, but at the same time nothing really solid, because one of the problems I've noticed with the outsourcing is a lot of people have an idea but not actually structured what exactly they want. So they'll say, can you do a specific, like, can you deliver me 5 sales a week? Okay, what's your budget? Don't know. How are you going to generate it? Are you looking at lead generating through LinkedIn, telemarketing, emailing? Don't know. Okay, so I can't give you a conversion on that because I need to understand exactly what your business is. And obviously, a lot of the time, it takes time, in the sense of they should already have that structured before they come to you with a specific plan. But it's one of the problems you do face with the outsourcing. A lot of these people are working on their own and then looking to expand out and take somebody on part-time or whatever with specific goals, but not actually any structure of how to reach it, which they should already actually know because they've been doing it themselves. But we'll get there. I've also started writing a bit more as well, but it's been very difficult with the workload. But I do actually want to start writing again a lot more, because I do enjoy writing, and I've got to admit I am so tired of spreadsheets. I've been doing spreadsheets since November now, and it's getting a bit tiresome. Reviewing accounts, doing formulas and all this non-stop. It's just boring and horrendous. But hey, it pays the bills. Can't complain about everything. Philippine staff. Not a lot going on at the minute. My wife's mother's about to come back over to Spain, so we're just lining that up at the moment, and that'll be a second trip over. So that's the progress there. I'm not in a rush to go back to the Philippines at the moment. What I'm trying to focus on is actually structuring a regular income of about 2K a month, which comes from things like YouTube, from websites and things like that. So it's a sustainable income, but it's not reliant on me actually doing too much. The idea being is I can get to a point where we can use it to get a property here in Spain, so we've got something to pass over to the kids, but also it will reduce our cost of living by about 440 euros a month, what we pay in rent. But then when you look at it, is it 440? When you take out the fact that we don't pay any taxes or community rates because that's covered in rent, it's not a bad deal. So it's gauging up on that, but it'd be nice to have a little property here. It'd be nice to have a small business here in Spain. Been looking around at vans as well, because I can see the opportunities here for pottering around. There's an aging population here on the coast, so even putting up a set of shelves, a lot of people will ask somebody to do it, or they need the stuff picked up from IKEA or whatever. There's opportunities to make money left, right and centre on lots of small little jobs, once people are aware that you do them. And yes, there's already a lot of people doing it already, but at the same time, I can do things like get the air conditioning changed, full renovations, electrical wiring, and I'm not fussed if it's large or small tasks, because the whole goal is €2,000 a month. So the point is, I don't mind pottering around. The more I potter around doing that sort of stuff, the more free time I have to do the YouTube videos, the websites and everything else, because the advantage I've got with that is it's not brain focused where you're sitting doing formula all day. You're a bit tired when you finish for the day, and that's one of the things I've got to say. This is why the videos don't come out as regular. By the time I've finished doing spreadsheets, I have zero interest in doing anything else afterwards because I've been bored out of my head all day. So that's another thing that's a little bit irritating, but it's part of the job. My back injury, it's the lower 3 discs. I went and seen the doctor last Friday. He signed me off for 3 months while I get the physio and all the other bits and pieces to make sure my back goes back correctly. Pardon the pun. The reason being is there's a lack of fluid between the 3, and where it's been twisted, they sort of infused, I suppose, a little bit. So I'm just waiting to see another specialist about. They set up a physio program, then you go to the guy that deals with the physio, and they get you to work that program and teach you what you need to do to get this back working properly, but also how to reduce the risk of it happening again. So that is an ongoing thing. Another couple of people have asked me about the diet stuff. Am I still doing it? The answer is yes. I know I post a lot of food on Instagram, but there's a couple of things to remember. One, it's normally a table for 2 or 4. So the pictures aren't all my food. It's just that we do them to help advertise some of the local businesses here. So if April's having something and I'm having something, I'll take pictures of both because it helps promote the small businesses here. The other side of that being is I only have 1 main meal a day. The other 2 meals are smoothies. I haven't got one here because literally I had it for breakfast. But they're pretty good in the sense that my weight is coming down steadily. I did the initial kick where I just did the smoothies for a week, which was 600 calories a day. And my weight dropped by 5 kilos in the first week. Then the following week I had some meals along with it, and now I sort of have 2 smoothies and 1 meal, and the weight's still coming down. So it does work. It's the Xanthi diet, and like I said, if you had like a blowout for Christmas or something, if you had a week of just the shakes, you would find you would have lost everything you gained over Christmas. I do find that if you, for example, we're out with Carlos on Saturday. Well, I had quite a large curry on Saturday night. So then, was it Saturday night? I think it was Saturday night, Saturday or Sunday night. So then what I did is the following day, I then go back to the shakes. And even if you didn't change it with 1 meal a day, 1 main meal and 2 shakes, by the end of the week, you would have lost anything you would have gained over a big blowout meal anyway. So the point is, it works. And the reason I share that is because a lot of people struggle to go onto diets and things. The way I see this, as long as you have 1 meal a day, it doesn't really affect you. Because if you have your breakfast, you have this as your breakfast, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't really bother me because normally I just have coffee for breakfast. But if I have that, I'm not hungry at lunchtime. So it carries me through. So then I'll just have a main meal in the evening. But a lot of people look forward to food, and I can understand that as well. I know myself, I couldn't do this full time because I enjoy food. This is why we go out to restaurants and stuff all the time. So I fully understand that. I mean, I can't do the microwave meals. I can't do the, in the sense of I don't like cheap food. Although we do have, KFC we have here now and again, probably once a month if that. But I've got to admit the McDonald's can't stand. The quality seems mechanical in taste. But I do like good food, good quality food, and it doesn't even have to be a la carte or something fancy. It can be a hamburger but made with 100% beef or um, something else. I mean, nice schnitzel, Wiener Schnitzel, or something else. It's all about the taste and the quality. And that's one of the things I will say. This is why I quite happily advertise the restaurants here. The food's all good quality. And I find Spain, food generally is good quality. But anyway, that's pretty much it. There is nothing too exciting going on. The stuff relating to my father's estate, one of the things I've got to say, I wasn't too fussed anyway. And the bickering between my brother and my sister has basically got the second lawyer to quit. Now, the funny thing is, he'll just carry on with this instead of this. You know, they're too busy arguing about what they think they should get and what they want and what they, you know, it's not theirs. The way I see it is it's my father's stuff, it's my mother's stuff, and for what they're doing, it just disgusts me. They're everything what's wrong with the human race today. And for me, if I got nothing out of it, would I be bothered? The answer is no. I couldn't care less. It wasn't my stuff anyway. If that means so much to them, that says a lot about them without even saying another word. So I pushed that to one side. That'll just continue for the next 3 years while they're doing it. But I can see other things happening along that road, and I know that some of these little people are listening in just to stir it. So simply, I'll leave it at that. I've started doing food stuff on the Spanish channel as well. If you're interested in the food, we've done our first 2 food recipes on there. If you're interested in having a look. Brexit, I suppose somebody's going to ask me about Brexit. I've kept it off the Spanish channel as much as possible. I think the Brexit is going to drag out, and I thought it was going to drag out anyway. I've got to admit that I did expect it just to be a constant pain in the backside. Now, if you ask my viewpoint on it, it's more to do with the British politicians. The British politician has relied on saying the EU made us do this and do that for years. And when they finally get to an exit, they will then blame the EU for leaving, you know, in the sense that it's the EU's fault, this, that and the other. And you see it throughout British politics. You see Scotland blame Parliament for all its problems and everything else. You see a lot of the issues is always about blaming. And like this Brexit thing, you're getting people blame each other, but at no point is anybody sitting there going, we need to sort a solution, we need to do something, we need to create a solution to this problem. No, they just mudsling. Now, this is one of the fundamental problems I see in British society today, is the lack of leadership generally. You will see people that quite simply are told they're on leadership programs, how to be a leader, how to do this, how to do that, but they're all about robotics. Real leadership comes from decision making, and in the military, it's decision making's right or wrong, you stick with it, because no decision kills people. It's as simple as that. And the UK has a parliamentary system, it has a business system that is often about not making a decision. It's all about moving around within roles. Especially larger companies do it. I'm not on about the guy with 12 employees or something. They can't afford to do it. But when you get into the bigger stuff like the universities, the hospital systems, the big maintenance systems, they are all the same. They all have these robotic, non-decision making people that will often change roles rather than get to a point of making a decision. It's why you can see people in the NHS sacked for being a failure as a chief exec, but then come back advising people on the mistakes they made as a chief exec. Absolute madness, but it's the same people rounding the loops. Politics is the same, and it overlaps with the same people in businesses. This is all quangos and everything else. Is it a conspiracy? No, it's just a system that has built up over time. It's cronyism, it's nepotism. It is a big problem. and it creates stagnation. And that's the biggest problem I see with the UK. Stagnation is being created. Doesn't matter if you're red or blue, it's the same problems. But anyway, I'm going to cut that off because that's as far as I'm interested in Brexit. It's not going to affect my life here in Spain. It's not going to affect my kids. It's not going to affect my wife. It's not going to affect me. There's a lot of scaremongering about changing your driver license and all this sort of stuff. Yet, at the end of the day, by the end of April, I'll have a Spanish license myself. But did I need to do it because of Brexit? No, I had to do it because I've been here over 2 years. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.